Everyone wants to be successful in life. What are the signs of success? Just having a lot of money? The sign of success is overwhelming joy, confidence, compassion, generosity, and a smile that none can snatch away. These words, ladies and gentlemen, are not mine, but those of His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji, who is in our midst today and who we are deeply privileged to host here, and most fittingly, if I may say so, at UNESCO, which is the House of Peace. His Holiness requires no introduction. His life is his message. Suffice to say that he teaches us life's lessons simply, succinctly, and easily. In him and through him, India transcends the mystic and the modern, and where her message of peace and goodwill finds her finest ambassador. Beyond this, I will speak no further. As they say, when great gurus speak, we must listen.
UNESCO's purpose is to contribute to peace by promoting collaboration among the nations through education, science, and culture, in order to further universal respect for justice, for the rule of law, and for the human rights and fundamental freedoms for the peoples of the world, without distinction of race, sex, language, or religion. Respect of cultural diversity and promotion of universal value is the foundation of the work that UNESCO does for peace, which is inspired in part by the teaching and life of Mahatma Gandhi, who so famously said, if we wanted to reach real peace in this world, we should start educating children. Your Holiness, it is fitting that you speak at UNESCO during this year, as we celebrating the 70th anniversary. As we are seated around this great round table, we are encouraged to share our thoughts amongst ourselves in a friendly manner. Allow me, Your Holiness, to welcome you here in the House of Peace. Thank you for your attention.
Your Holiness, it is a pleasure to welcome you here. India and UNESCO have a profound partnership that builds on myriad contributions, the intellectual, moral, and spiritual wealth that India has over decades offered UNESCO, and the rich exchange that has ensued. On the 21st of June, we will celebrate International Yoga Day, as mandated by the UN General Assembly for the first time ever, an embodiment of India's unique living traditions, the ultimate unity of body and mind in harmony with the world. And today, we receive your message of the one world family, a vision that draws on ancient wisdom, but also modern science, that has inspired spirituality, but also a commitment to service. The powerful call for both personal and social transformation, for the full realization of human aspiration and human potential, for relief in the wake of natural and man-made disasters that target the most vulnerable in our societies. All this has great resonance with this House, Your Holiness, and we are grateful for your example. We have much to learn from you, Your Holiness, and so, Mr. Your Holiness, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, the floor is yours now.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Ambassador, President, dignitaries, Your Excellencies. It's a pleasure for me to be with you all in this circular converging hall. I feel three things are important in education, in life. That is education, education, and education. Three things that makes a difference in anyone's life is, again, education, education, and education. Now here, education should not be confused for collecting information. Education, to me, is building personalities, developing holistic personality. We live live in a diverse world. If the nature of God wanted the world to be non-diverse, He would have made it like, one thing. Here's this universe, this world has so many varieties. It's a bouquet of flowers. They're not one type of fish, they're not one type of flowers, they're not one type of fruits or vegetables. The fauna, flora of this beautiful universe we live in gives us the message that we live in a multiverse, in a planet where there are differences. And differences make life beautiful. Somehow I don't like this word tolerance. You know why? It's a negative connotation to it. Usually we have world over interfaith programs where we say tolerance, we should have tolerance. I think it's a word of bygone era. You tolerate something which you don't like it. Now the time has come to appreciate, like, celebrate diversity, not just tolerate them. This is something that we need to really look into. A universe with so many varieties, we need to learn to live with it, appreciate it, and enjoy it and celebrate it, turn it into a celebration. I usually ask this question to people. See, we accept food from any part of the world, or every part of the world. We accept music from every part of the world. We accept technology. We don't ask where this technology was discovered. We own it as humans. But when it comes to wisdom, there seems to be some sort of resistance. We put up a wall. Say, this is mine, this is east, this is west, this is north, this is south, this is Jewish, this is Hindu, this is Buddhist. So we try to bring in some prejudice, some concepts in our mind and stay away from it. As long as this trend continues, the world cannot be a peaceful place. Even if a small part of the world remains thinking only they have the key for heaven, everybody else going to hell, they are bound to create hell for everyone else. So here comes all our collective responsibility to educate our people in multicultural and multi-religious education. Thanks to the technology today, through internet, through technology, this is being made available. But there is still a lot of population, a big number of our population which is remaining in ignorance, thinking only they have the key to the heaven. So this problem in the world we can categorize as two major issues. Number one, prejudice. Racial prejudice, gender prejudice, religious prejudice, and class prejudice. There are certain sections of society which think the rich people are always oppressors. Rich countries are always oppressors. And there is gender prejudice. Similarly, religious prejudice. These prejudices have to be done away with. Then only I would say that we have reached a level of education and we are well cultured, a civilized people. Having said that, the other aspect of human life is, in such a busy society, busy world, we have a lot to do. We have too much to do, in fact. And too little time and no energy. And this is the definition of stress. I would say formula of stress is too much to do, too little time, and no energy. Now you can't extend the time. It's only 24 hours for everybody. Whether it's a clerk or a prime minister, it's only 24 hours. Now, it looks almost impossible to reduce the need of, or your needs or whatever you need to do. You are left with only one option to increase our energy level. So you need to increase the energy level. For that, there has been techniques in different parts of the world from ancient times, which was more or less a highly guarded secret, which were given to royalties, the princes, and people of high caliber who would benefit from that and who would in turn, be able to deliver quite a lot. So, but these years we thought these techniques of meditation or breathing should be open to commoners. It should be available to everyone. See, neither at school nor at home anyone teaches us how to get rid of stress when we are stressed. No one teaches us how to handle our emotions. It's normal, it's natural to get upset. But to carry that emotion all through the day, all through the week, sometimes all through the month, is not an intelligent thing to do. It's like your garment got dirty and you don't know how to get out of it. So you are carrying it all throughout. So we need to teach them techniques to relieve stresses. This I would call as a mental hygiene. We teach dental hygiene to our kids, but we have not taught them mental hygiene. How not to carry hatred against anybody. Mahatma Gandhi used to have 11 vows that he used to give to people in his ashram. And one of those vows is to have a control over your anger and to be compassionate. Non-violence, Importance of non-violence in life. This need to be stressed. Don't you think so? Huh? Is not our world becoming more and more violent? We are sort of getting immune to violence. When I would like to say, when I was growing up, if any student in the class gets upset or throws a tantrum, everyone would look down upon, what's wrong with this guy or with this girl? There's something wrong with them because they have lost the balance. So losing the balance of mind or equanimity of mind, we were put to shame. Today, pride got itself attached with aggression, not with non-violence, not with peace. We need to do this change in role model for people of attaching the pride with compassion, non-violence, rather than with aggression and violence. I would say media has also played a role in it. Again, games, video games. When kids start playing games, video games, and they keep shooting, and that's one of the main thing that they play in video games, I was told. But when you look at that, in the mindset, you become sort of immune to shooting or violence. So it's no longer a crime or a sensitive thing, but it is a game. Today even sports are fought like wars, and wars are played like games. Here again we need peace education. As I said, one thing we need to educate ourselves how to handle our own emotions, our own negative emotions. Now, emotions being so intangible, abstract, You need a way, a methodology, or a technique to handle it. One of the grandmother's technique all over the world used to be, if you are upset, go to a corner and count 10. Today, even count 10 doesn't work, even 100 won't work. You can start counting, and they will count it on the computer, on the calculator, don't need to even say. So, having said that, are there any methods, are there any techniques that can help to control the emotions, transform the negative emotion into positive? I would say yes. Breath has that secret. If you have observed the theatrical groups, they teach you to breathe first in order to express certain emotions. If you have to express anger, you have to breathe a little faster. Otherwise, you can't express that emotion. Similarly, if you have to express a sense of pleasure or joy, they tell you to take it long, slow, long, deep breaths. So, breath is connected with our emotions, with the thought patterns. And believe me, we have not taught anything about our breath for our kids all over the world. We know nothing about our breath. The first thing we do coming into this planet is we take a deep breath in. The last thing we'll be doing is we'll be breathing out, and that's it. So throughout the life, we keep breathing, and we know very little about our breath. Here, breath is half tangible, half concrete. That is, it's a link between emotions on one hand and the sensation that physically we feel in the body on the other hand. So learning a little bit about breath, a person is able to feel stability in emotions and are able to switch over the negative emotions that everyone comes across. Third thing is, it also helps you to relieve stresses, different type of stress. So stress is one cause of tension in the society, which makes our communication break down, which affects our perception and our expression. Our social dealings can be broadly classified as just two things that you do: how you perceive and how you express yourself. Now, both our perception and expression changes when our stress level changes in the system. Now, there have been many number of researches about benefits of meditation. As I say, there are four sources of energy. First is food, proper food. In ancient India, even in few years back, say about few decades ago, people used to say, if someone is behaving funny, what did you feed him? What did you eat? Instead of asking, why are you behaving like this, they say, what did you eat? So, this is true in some way, food, attending to the food is the first source of energy. Second, sleep. Any sane person, if you don't let him sleep for 2 days, he won't be normal. His behavior, his or her behavior, there'll be drastic change. So sleep, proper rest. Third is breath, is the third source of energy. Few minutes of breathing or yoga can energize body and mind and uplift the spirit. And the fourth is happy mind. Few moments of happy and comfortable, a mind which is much more calmer, collective. So few minutes of meditation. These are four sources of energy, of which first two are, of course, people know to some extent, though they may not have paid much attention. The second two needs to be known, needs to be told to people, should be part of the education system. Now, there is one more aspect that we all have to pay our attention. In the world, when it comes to interfaith, inter-religious dialogues, intercultural dialogue, I would say there are 10 major religions in the world. Major, we can count them as major religions, but there are many, 600 and odd branches or other religions. If every child knows a little bit about all these other 10 religions and they grow up saying all this is part of one divinity, don't you think the world would be such a better place? Huh? It's not through elimination that we can make a better world. It's through assimilation we can make the world a better place. I heard a nice story from a Catholic priest. Once he told me a story in one of the interfaith dialogue. He said, God needed some ideas. When Ireland was burning, he didn't know how to settle it. So he asked a Catholic priest what we should do. And he said, oh, it's very easy. Remove all Protestants from Ireland. Ireland will be peaceful. Then he came to, God didn't find it a very good idea, so he came to a Protestant priest. He said, what do you say? What is your idea you want to give me? He said, oh, it's very simple. You remove all Catholics from Ireland. But then he said, well, they both are parties. Let me go to a Jewish rabbi. So I went to Jewish rabbi and said, tell me what is the solution? He said, remove them both from there. Then Ireland will be peaceful. God became very upset. He said, what is that we should do now? Of course, he put good thoughts and technology in the minds of people, a scientific temperament, and to come together. So, the process of elimination should stop. Whatever is belief system that is prevalent in the world, but for if it is a superstitious thing which is harmful for society, cultures have got their own beauty, their uniqueness, and we need to celebrate multicultural, multi-religious events more and more. So in every child, if he learns a little bit about all these 10 different religions, even couple of pages from each one, then they know that we live in a very diverse world and we should honor, we should love to appreciate, we should honor these differences. And they grow up with this tendency. I think we can put an end to terrorism, which is taking over the world today. Don't you think so? Huh? So this has been my dream from long time, that I would like the UNESCO to take up this one subject of multi-religious education to the whole population of the world. So every kid learns a little bit about all the traditions in the world and appreciates them, loves them, celebrates them. Similarly, multicultural festival. In India we have this ancient saying, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. When you are well educated, when your heart is larger, the world becomes your family. Technology has shrunk this globe into a village. Distances are no longer a matter of concern. I think it is the humanities, it is the spiritual or human education in human values that can make this world into a family. With these few words, if you have some questions, I'll open the floor.
My question to Sri Sri Ravi is that in today's advanced technological world, with the help of latest gadgets, our life has become more efficient, but at the same time more stressful. We keep a computer with us in the form of mobiles. Here is one. These gadgets may be useful, but they also increase our stress levels and cause anxieties as we are always glued to check emails, catch up with news, etc. What is your advice in dealing with these stress levels? Should we simply throw away the mobile, or there is more practical way to handle this situation? Thank you, sir.
In the mobile there is a red button, and we should be kind enough to press it sometimes. That also. Technology is no impediment at all. And it is whether we make it an impediment or use it for our comfort. The purpose of technology is to give us comfort. At the same time, our sleep, our meditation, our other activity also gives us even deeper comfort, or absolute comfort. So when a higher comfort is coming, you have to leave the lower comfort at rest for some time, not all the time. So a few minutes, I would recommend you to use that red button also so that you can have sound sleep. And when you do good exercise, or when you're with family having a dinner, I think we can put it on a silent mode, our gadgets.
What do you recommend us in UNESCO? How we can find ways to bring spirituality as a real component, not as a luxury talk, to our agenda? How?
The question is how to go about it. Who will do this? This is the question. Now, any big transformation in society depends on 4 pillars of society. First is government. Second is civil societies, the NGOs. Third is the media. Fourth is the faith-based organization. Faith-based religion, faith, they have a role to play in societies. So, when all these 4 avenues of society or pillars of society work in unison, only then any project can be successful. Whether it is this one or child education or whatever, any project in a society needs a cooperation from these 4 corners. Now, UNESCO can play a very, very important role in influencing all these 4 aspects of the society. The faith-based organization, it can influence the government, it can produce a system and tell all the governments, okay, every government should make this part of their curriculum, that multicultural, multi-faith education should be given to children. I would say even if every country invests 1% or 0.5% of their defense budget in peace education, this world would be a better place to live.
I feel that I am not able or I am not enough competent to ask the question to Guruji, really. I think we all are slave to our ego, I think. That I am more powerful, I am more knowledgeable, I am more competent. So the feeling of this ego leads us to dominate others. That is we call disrespect, that is we call intolerance, that is we call that you must respect me, but I don't care whether I should respect others. So, His Holiness, because you have a campaign or movement of art of living, we would like to have your message. In fact, what this art of living message would impact on our this present world, bringing all of us together, being respectful to each other.
One of the biggest crises in the planet is identity crisis. We identify ourselves as somebody, and those who do not belong to that thing, we feel they are against us, and we are afraid of them, or we want to dominate them or be aggressive towards them, right? So the identity should be changed. First, there are several layers of identities are there. First and foremost, I would say we are part of one life, one humanity, one divinity, and then one humanity. Then comes on the third place, we are male or female. Fourth place, we can count, we belong to this religion or that religion. Fifth place, this country or that country. When this identity reverses, we forget the basic identity of we being human beings, number one. So, and that those who do not belong to us, we don't always find, we always find that they are inimical to us, or we're not happy about them. We want to dominate. So the tendency to dominate is because of the ego. And the antidote for this is sense of belongingness. When you have sense of belongingness with everybody, as you said, you feel at home because I am from Southeast Asia. For me, wherever I go, I feel totally at home. Not once I felt I'm in a foreign land, anywhere in the planet. I've traveled from North Pole to South Pole, everywhere I felt absolutely at home. This is what we can cultivate within us, that we see from a broader perspective, context to life, commitment to life, and compassion to life. The 3 C's, if we can remember. See life from a bigger context. What is ego? You think you have achieved something? And what we are? Well, who are you? You are nothing. You are not even a speck of that particle in this creation. Billions of years have passed, and billions will come in the future, and we are nowhere. So when we give a bigger context to our life, the ego simply starts dissolving, or it just smiles. It's not an angry ego, but a smiling ego. And second is commitment. When life has a commitment, it flows a commitment to values, commitment to compassion, commitment to non-violence. Then life flows in a proper direction. Third is compassion, which is a natural thing. We all have compassion. In fact, if you see, I would say there's not one person who doesn't have compassion on the planet, only it is not expressed, it's covered all. It needs uncovering.
I'm very glad that we can speak here about spirituality, because we need it in this hard time, mainly in our region and my country, who is facing a very hard hegemony of violence and takfirism movements and jihadist people coming from everywhere to impact the destiny of my country. I'm glad to have you between us. I'm thanking Her Excellency to giving us this opportunity, and I would like to ask you, what do you think about this takfirist movement and extreme violence in the world, mainly what's happening in our country, Syria? Thank you very much.
As I said, this is the crisis of identity. People feel their identities are threatened, number one. Second is they think they only have the key to the heaven. They think others are all wrong. I would like to share one experience of mine when I went to Pakistan. I gave a talk at the University of Lahore in Pakistan. Then a youth stood up and said, we believe in one God, but in India you believe in so many gods. And so he said, how come you believe in so many gods and we don't agree on that? Then I told him, we also believe in one God, but with many costumes. So we don't have many gods, but one God only. God is only one. But he likes to change his dress and become a carnival, have a carnival festival, and change his costumes. That's all the difference. So I gave him one example. See, it's the same wheat. From the wheat you make bread, you make samosa, you make naan, you make chapatis, you make noodles. Why do you make so many types from one rice, same wheat? The same wheat is used to make muffins and croissants and German bread and pumpernickel, all different types, because we love varieties. So the divinity who created the universe loves diversity, and we just honor diversity. They got so satisfied, so happy. They said, it has relieved me. It has taken away a weight away from my head. So this unity in diversity need to be emphasized to people, number one. Second is, youth today are fed up with the material, whatever they get here. They are looking for some higher pleasure, some heaven. For them, we need to tell them, love is heaven. And this world has plenty of love. This education, again, I would say, if you just put them in a room and give me 3 days, 2 hours each, you will see them coming out with a smile and with flower instead of guns.
The ambassadors of Cambodia and Afghanistan in that order, and then we'll come to the others. Cambodia.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. In fact, I did not ask for the floor, probably, Ambassador of Iran, but as you have mentioned the name of Cambodia, so take this opportunity to thank you very much for bringing holiness to this room. I just have one comment to this event, extraordinary event, that UNESCO was created on the idea of spiritual, of the intellectual solidarity. And I think it was recently stressed again by the Secretary General of the Francophonie to UNESCO under this whole. So your presence here, Your Holiness, is very relevant to UNESCO under this converging ceiling. Thank you very much.
Qu'est-ce qui est arrivé de nouveau qui a rendu le monde si dangereux? Est-ce que cela va durer? Je voudrais poser cette question. Est-ce que cela va durer? Dans quelle direction nous dirigeons? Est-ce que cela ne va pas poser la question de l'UNESCO, du système de sécurité international? Parce qu'il faudrait qu'il y ait une carence du système international et global de sécurité pour qu'on détruise les villes entières, la ville de Namroud et Atra, et pour que l'insécurité prenne des dimensions aussi démesurées. Est-ce que nous ne sommes pas devant des problèmes beaucoup plus sérieux que la simple question de l'éducation? Je voudrais poser cette question. Merci beaucoup.
Well, I know the issues are, and we all know the issues are very, very large, very big. As you rightly said, there is not any specific reason for many times a conflict, because there is conflict between the religion, within the country, all type of conflicts are there. If you analyze, what we can see is the stress is the main cause of all these problems. Stress creates either aggression or violence on one side, or depression or suicidal tendencies on the other side. Because we have not taught anyone how to handle the mind. Education is not just collecting information. It is learning to know who you are. What is your capacity? Learning to know the 7 different layers of our existence. body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego. These layers of our existence we are totally ignorant of. So we don't know how to handle the rage or anger when it comes up within us. As I said, neither at home nor in school anyone teaches us. So either it remains with people and it turns into depression. Today 40% of school teachers are depressed. When teachers are depressed, what would they communicate to the students? They transfer only depression. A happy person will communicate happiness to others. A depressed person only transfers depression. So either they are depressed or they become aggressive in their behavior. So we need to teach our kids non-aggression, how to be non-violent communication, how to broaden one's vision and have patience. This is where the spirituality comes. Spirituality, I feel, is different from religion. See, there was only one Buddha, there are 32 sects of Buddhism. There was only one Jesus, there are 72 sects of Christianity. Only one Prophet Muhammad, and there are 5 different sects of Islam are there. So, and Hinduism, it's countless. You can't even count. So many sects are there. So, leaving aside, we will not touch religion at all. We just give them little information, educate them, but tell them, now, let us honestly see, who are you? What is inside of you? What happens to you? When a compliment is given to you, have you noticed something in you is expanding? And when you are given a derogatory remark, when you have to face an insult, what happens? Something in you shrinks. Are you aware of this? Something in you expands and shrinking? Just experience this through breath. Become calmer and collect yourself. Be centered. Then you understand the whole mechanism of mind. You will understand the whole mechanism of stress. And this is what we in Art of Living is promoting. It's non-denominational. People from all different religious backgrounds, they take to it, they find the inner peace. Because peace of mind is connected with the stress. And once the stress level is reduced, then you're peaceful, number one. Second is, if you see in a classroom, there are 50 kids, and you ask any kid, any child, how many friends you have in your classroom, they will count on fingers, 3, 4, 5. I have a question for them. If you can't be friendly with 50 kids in your classroom, when you come out of this school, how are you going to live with 7 billion people? We have not taught them how to be friendly. So we have designed a program called Art Excel, All-Round Training in Excellence, in which we give them 7 golden rules. The first one, we tell them, make one new friend every day. So if every child learns to make one new friend every day, in a school of 5,000 kids or 2,000 kids, they become friendly with everybody in 2-3 years of time that they spend there. See, 10, 12 years a kid spends in the school, and he comes out with only a bunch of friends with whom he fights again. So how to be friendly, that we have not taught. Number one. Second is allowing them to have acts of kindness, random acts of kindness. This is very important. This is very important to me. When we were children, we grew up with the stories of Mahatma Gandhi, how we used to care for others, how we had to embrace others. This is something that we need to teach. These are what I would call as the real spiritual knowledge. And if someone insults you, how do you take the insult? How to take criticism and how to give constructive criticism. These personality strengths are developing the personality. This is missing in our curriculum. This one we need to teach people. And I think unless until we develop a integrated personality in human beings, that they can do anything with care and concern, with a vision, with a goal in life, then we are not going to solve these issues. Yeah.
First of all, I would like to extend, on behalf of the delegation of Mauritius, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to India, to the delegation of India, for having brought to us His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I don't know, but myself personally, I feel privileged and honored to have such a great personality in front of me. Therefore, once more, thank you very much.
To begin with, if you can do meditation with a CD, the recorded guided meditation, or if you just take 12 to 16 hours of time spread over 3, 4, 5 days or whatever time, 12 hours spread over 4 days or 6 days, 2 hours each day, you can learn many techniques which would help you to handle your own mind, handle your own emotions, handle your awareness, and handle your stress level. And it can help you to keep a smile in all tough times as well, and be very intuitive. So benefits are many. I'm not going to talk more about it. You might have heard about the American Medical Journal, which said if you meditate for 8 weeks, that's 2 months, the structure of the brain changes. The gray matter in the brain increases. So today science has authenticated what has been believed and practiced for a long time. So with these words, I thank you all. Thank you, Chairman, and the ambassadors and all dignitaries for having me here.